Hello everyone, my name's Sam. I'm a six-figure funded trader with FTMO and my Forex funds, and I've got a really exciting video to bring you today. So if you're struggling to get profitable, or you're slightly profitable, or you're just brand new to Forex and looking for like an easy strategy to get you off the bat while you learn all the more advanced techniques and really find your edge, this is the video for you. This started out as a bit of a fact-finding mission. I'm currently a coach inside the FTR Discord. A lot of the questions I get are around market structure, around internal breaks of structure, around internal market structure, around multi-time frame analysis and all this sort of complex stuff that tends to confuse beginner traders and get some confused in the market and trading the wrong way. My number one priority is to get people profitable straight away from the get-go. And so what I've been doing is looking at how I can modify this strategy or even bring it into very simplified form of this strategy. I backtested Euro USD and AUD USD over the past 8 months since the start of January, using just the 4-hour points of interest and 15-minute CHOCH, targeting the 3 risk to reward and move my stop loss at break even at 2 RR. Data I've got from the start of the year, Euro USD has given 108% available since the start of the year, and AUD USD 105% available. So between those two pairs, over 200% potential, 20% a month more, which is pretty incredible. And I wanted to make this video to show you that how simple it can be to be profitable in this market. Okay, so what I want to get into this straight away is show you the basics of this strategy, and then I'm going to go through how to identify 4-hour points of interest and mark them out, how to identify and mark out 15-minute CHOCH inside these areas, how to identify the extreme and flip zone order blocks on after the 15-minute CHOCH, how to set your limits on the 15-minute order blocks that you've just identified, and then we're going to bring it all together. I'm going to show you some back testing and go through it so you can see it play out in real time. I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of the work that went into building this data. I backtested from January Euro USD all the way up until current, and like I said before, 69% win rate with a potential of 108R available, 108% if you're risking 1%. I also backtested AUD for the same amount of time. Everything I bring you is legit backtested and made sure that it actually functions and works as a profitable strategy before I let you guys know. So now I'll move over the charts. Okay, so it's very basic strategy. Here's the rules. The price needs to have touched or be inside of a 4-hour point of interest. Like I said, I'm going to teach you how to identify these and the rules I have for them. A 15-minute CHOCH with a body break has to occur, either with a single or multiple candles. I'll show you that as well. You're going to enter with a limit trade out of the 15-minute order block. Either the extreme order block or the flip zone order block has to be unmitigated, and I will show you that as well. Our target is 3 risk reward. We move our stop loss to break even once our trade goes to risk reward. There's some extras only that I've identified from running over the data. We only want to enter trades on the 15-minute CHOCH that occurred in the same trading day. So your CHOCH occurs Monday morning, and you get a tag in New York session Monday afternoon and it plays out fine. However, your CHOCH occurred on Monday morning and you set your limits and they didn't get filled on Monday morning, we go into Tuesday, you want to delete those orders for this strategy. It's not valid anymore. We want to wait for a new setup, a new CHOCH, and then go from there. And also the time that it's pretty much just Frankfurt Open, which is an hour before London session, all the way up until maybe 2 hours after London closes, into New York sessions it's just sort of before volume drops off a lot in the night time and, when it opens up. So just to give you an idea, these are the trading zones. I will show you that as well. However, I'm going to show you pretty much the basics of the strategy. I'll give a bullish example. Okay, so imagine this is the 4-hour market structure. We've got a breaker structure here. We can identify that by this leg breaking this last high. Okay, so this is 4-hour market structure. We then, in this leg, there could be potentially more. However, there would be at least one order block on the 4-hour, that led to this break of structure. And I'm getting to the live charts and I'll explain that soon, but I just want to give you the basics, the theoretical rundown of it. So then what we're doing, okay, we're going to set an alert on this level just above it so we have some time. So alert set, I'll move it across just above the 4-hour. Say this is our alert level. What we have then is price starts to pull back, push into here, our alert goes off. So at this point, we're on the 4 hour, our alerts goes off. What we then want to do is we move down to the 15-minute chart. Okay, so I'm going to draw that a bit bigger. This is going to be the zoomed in version. Okay, so this is our 4 hour. See this box here? This is our zoomed in version of the 4 hour POI here. I'm now going to draw up the 15-minute chart. So okay, so your 15 minutes been downtrending because it's on the 4 hour pullback. We're pushing down. Okay, our alert's just gone off. We're still going down. Okay, there, and then our market structure moves up. All of a sudden we're not making lower lows anymore, and we break our last lower high, signifying a 15-minute CHOCH here. So then what happens next? Okay, there's at least going to be here, similar to when we had this break of structure here. We're now down on the 15. There's going to be a 15-minute order block left here that led to this breakup. This led to this CHOCH. Okay, this is a CHOCH because we were downtrending and we broke the last high. You know, it's showing a significant reaction out of here. Pretty much the basis of this is where we know these areas are quite important on the 4 hour. And we're looking for just, we pretty much want to take advantage of just a significant bit of reaction out of it, you know, with confirmation. We then set up our trade here on the order block. We target our 3R. If all goes well and it plays out, we'd end up with a pullback, us getting tagged in, and then we hit our profit, take profit, and that's it. And we wait for the next 4 hour POI that we've marked up. With the euro, we had 69% win rate on this strategy, and it was crazy 76% win rate on the Australian dollar. So what I want to do first is show you how to identify a 4 hour point of interest and mark them out. What I've done is I removed August because we haven't got the whole month yet. I'm going to focus on July. Pretty much what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be recent. It just be any 4 hour area that was involved in an area that broke structure. So here we can see we had quite a big break of structure all the way over here, and we're looking at unmitigated areas of interest. Usually it's like the last bullish candle. I sometimes, you know, cover the wicks as well on the next candle if it has. Okay, we can see that this one's been mitigated, so we can forget about that and we can delete that off our, you know, so this was part of the leg that pushed down and eventually broke structure. So what we want to look at, we'll look at this last bullish candle here. So it doesn't have to be the immediate break. It could just be an unmitigated area. So we'll look at the last bullish, you know, okay, it's unmitigated, this area still. It's all sort of like a one big area, so we're just looking for the area for reaction, so you don't have to be that accurate on it. We'll pull that across, and eventually there may have been trades out of here. We don't know if we would have got entries or not, but we'll pull it across and we're going to look at that later. Same thing over here. This was the high of this whole thing that led down to break this structure. It's been unmitigated. You know, some people say it's not relevant anymore, it's all the way over here, but from my backtesting, they can get these short little reaction trades. You know, maybe there was something available in this, you can see, but we won't know until we zoom in on the 15. Okay, so then we'll look over here as well. Okay, so where does July start? Okay, around here. So let's have a look at relevance that will be relevant for July. Okay, we had this area here was a big break of structure. This was a very nice order block, unmitigated until here. But, you know, we're looking at July price action because we're pretty much pretending like July hasn't happened yet. Here onwards hasn't occurred yet, okay? So here to the right, we're just assuming that. But I want to do it in hindsight so I can show you exactly how it works when we tag into these areas, okay? So that's why I'm still pulling these ones across. Even though they're now mitigated, I'm assuming that everything to the right hasn't happened yet, okay? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. This low gets broken with a body break. So there was a couple, this one would have been mitigated in June, this little area here. See, you know, if there wasn't mitigated yet, that could have been an area because it's a 4 hour consolidation. Let's have a look. Maybe this is relevant to us here. Okay, so we'll pull this across because it looks like price does touch into this. And we get a reaction out of it, so we may have had an entry in here. We'll have a look. You know, there's a few areas here. Is we just cover this area up here. You know, it doesn't have to be that accurate, to be honest with you, because we're just looking for like these high areas of interest and then we're waiting for reactions to happen out of them, you know. So we're not taking trades off this area per se, but we're waiting for reactions to happen out of them, okay? like I said, this would have been a point of interest down here. However, we ended up with a little CHOCH here. And, you know, now this is the area that led to a CHOCH. Pull it across. I guess we'll pull it all the way until it's fully mitigated here. Okay, you can see you can get multiple touches. So there's potential to get multiple entries out of this one order block, which I'll show you as well. And then pretty much after that, if we're going to move forward, you know, so we ended up having a nice, another sweep of those lows. And then what do we have? 4-hour CHOCH here. So we now have this area of interest. Okay, it doesn't look price gets into it in July, so we won't be analyzing that one. We move up again. I'm just simply showing you how I'm marking out the 4 hours. It's quite simple, you know. We have that breaker structure here. So then we're looking at now our down candle. Okay, it looks like this gets a reaction. Maybe there is a trade in there, maybe it's not. We never know until we zoom in on the 15. Okay, so we get another breaker structure with a body. That's the main thing. That's the main important thing, is the body break. Okay, and then you take the last down candle. Okay, it looks like it didn't get tagged here. And then this part here, we got a break here. It can be just minor ones like this, you know, this pullback and consolidation is what we're looking for, you know, and look at this. Okay, there's probably definitely some trades out of there. We keep moving up, we keep moving up. Even potentially, if you really wanted to, you could even mark it out something like this. There's no reason. It was a consolidation, and we sort of just kept pushing up. However, you know, it's not as clean, but there's no reason we can't mark it out. And we can just see, because what we're doing is we're just waiting for reactions out of this area. If it's not strong, the reaction's not going to happen, and you're not going to take the trade. Okay, so we keep moving up, keep moving up. What do we have next? We just have only wick breaks, wick breaks, wick break. Okay, finally this one is broken with a body break. So then we've got this like quite big 4-hour candle here that we pull across. However, at the same time, once the price started pushing down, we then had a wick break here, but then we ended up with a body break in the end across here. Okay, so, you know, I'm waiting for the body break. Now let me zoom in a bit so maybe you can get a better idea. The price action is not always clean as we like it to be. So here, how I determine my body breaks is, you know, especially with CHOCHs. Okay, so we pushed up. This is a low we need to break with the body to produce CHOCH. We got a wick, so this created my new low that needed to be broken with body broken to create CHOCH. So now, even though it's just body broken this level, that is where the CHOCH originated up here. So it could be an angle line. It doesn't look so good, but that's essentially the visual representation of how I move my CHOCH line down with the body breaks. We would have then had a flip zone, which I will explain in detail. Pretty much the order block that would right before led to like a CHOCH or a breaker structure. So you can always, as you have legs, you have multiple order blocks in the leg. So, you know, then we consider up here would be our extreme that we potentially, which extreme is highest point of the leg that led to CHOCH. And then this is the, you know, literally, if there's multiple order blocks, this is just like the pre-break, pre-CHOCH order block. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then we move down, we've got another breaker structure here. So we're marking out our area of interest again. No break with the body. However, we get a break here. We've got this huge wick up. So, you know, that's potentially like the closest thing we've got to a 4-hour area of interest that we would pull across. Same thing happens here. What do we have? Even these minor breaks. See, like, you know, a lot of people, obviously, as you get better at market structure and understand market structure more, you can optimize this, and, you know, with pro trend, counter trend. However, you know, we don't need to know all this. All we have to know is identifying areas where price broke structure, some form of structure. Okay, that was a wick, but it ended up with a body here. So, you know, theoretically it would be down here where the breaker structure is, but I'm just going to draw it across for like aesthetics type of thing. And what we're doing is then we're just looking at the, you know, the 4-hour area led to this breaker structure. Okay, and we're pulling it across. Okay, this is in hindsight. Obviously, we're going to zoom in and see, you know, how these things play out. We then pushed up. Okay, so and then we got this area here. So this last area consolidation was a CHOCH, and so there's our area here. We're going to stick with what we have here. So what now? We have all the 4-hour order blocks marked out. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't understand anything, you know, comment down below and I can make a specific video on it. But it's just looking for areas of CHOCH on the 4-hour, areas of breakage structure. It has to be with body breaks, and then you're marking out the last up or down candle, the order block that led to that area. Now we go into phase 2. How to identify and mark out 15-minute CHOCH. We've now got our 4-hour POIs that we've all marked out that are relevant to us because we're analyzing July. What I'll do is I'll jump down on the 15-minute time frame. We'll look at some of these early ones here and see if we can identify CHOCH. Essentially what we're looking for is what I said at the start. Okay, is we're just looking, it's CHOCH as a change of character. It can show just like a sign of strength or a sign of weakness in sort of areas of interest, and can be really used to our advantage for a confirmation trade, you know, for actually like trading with strength. You know, we don't always get the entries, but you know, we wait for that reaction and then we are, okay, we're going to follow on from that reaction, you know. So say this is our 4-hour point of interest we've identified. We're now, like I said, on the 15, waiting for it to tap in. Okay, that's pretty bad. Hold on. I can do that again. Sorry about that, guys. It's moving down, pull back, moving down, pull back. Okay, taps into a 4-hour. We get a reaction that breaks the last high or last consolidation. We pull back into our area of interest. That's going to be marked out here on the 15. And then we're trading it up to our 3R. Okay, so the key is breaking this last high or last consolidation on the 15 that led to the low. It's like a change of character. It's a sign of strength, you know. We've now broken the last area of supply in the bearish sense that should keep pushing the market down. That's pushed the market every time. So it doesn't always, you know, give us the reactions as we want, but it's a good sign of strength. All right. So what I'll do, I'll jump on the 15 and we'll zoom into a couple of these areas and find them on the chart. This is our area. We've got a few areas of interest that we're looking at. This was our first sort of area that we were looking at. Price pushed into it. However, we've got no consolidations here. So, you know, the last sort of consolidation was down here. So this, theoretically, on this first push up would have been our CHOCH level. Which is, you know, we're back in this sort of area of interest. Okay, so then price played out and pulled back. Funny enough, this is what I mean. We could be looking long and short at the same time when we have 2 points of interest so close to each other. So what we'd be looking at here is this price here has tapped into this 4-hour order block. We can look at our bullish consolidation here that we pushed up. This is actually a really good example because it's going to give you an idea of a flip zone as well. We then break this last push up consolidation before that high, and we get our 15-minute CHOCH with a body break. Okay, so obviously this wasn't just a clean up and down. We've got quite a bit of price action going on within this before the CHOCH occurred. So, you know, before this price action, if we didn't have this huge wick, this huge candle down, this would have been our extreme order block because it's the most deepest point before the CHOCH. However, as we've got this has tagged in here and mitigated this order block, and then this order block was mitigated here, we're only left with what we would call our flip zone order block. Okay, and you can see that this is where the reaction came out of, and we would have gotten our trade for 3R. However, I want to focus on just the 15-minute CHOCH at this point. Okay, so this is the last consolidation. This is the push up on the bearish, a bullish push up before a bearish push down that's broken with a body break, coming out of a 4-hour POI. Okay, so we would have got a trade out of that one. We'll mark it up later. I just want to focus on CHOCH. Okay, so what's happened now is we've then pushed up and created a new high. We've come even deeper into this 4-hour point of interest. Okay, I don't really consider these areas not mitigated or like one-time use. I really like that you can get multiple trades out of this. It just has to keep taking the previous high to make a new high within this area and create CHOCH. Okay, So what we have here, pretty much what I said last time, this is our last, sort of push down consolidation before our push up. So this is the low I want broken for the CHOCH. As you can see, we got a wick break, and now, as I explained before, the low keeps moving down until finally, eventually, there was some sort of break of structure here. So what we would do, it's a pretty tricky one, I would say, okay, because potentially this is our extreme, as we know. We can pull this across. Okay, would have seen some sort of reaction out of it, but potentially it was mitigated. This one would have been kind of a tricky, and if you're a beginner, I would just let it go. Obviously, there's this quite a nice order block here that swept liquidity and pushed down. There's multiple order blocks. When there's too many like that, sometimes, or it's not clean, you can let it go. But this is the main thing about identifying the CHOCH. This is when CHOCH occurred. Okay, I don't trade wick CHOCHs. I only trade once body breaks. And if there's a wick CHOCH, the low just keeps moving. The CHOCH level keeps moving until we finally get a break of that CHOCH level. And as you can see, as soon as we got a break of that CHOCH level, we had the push up into a nice order block and then got the push down. Okay, so waiting for that, you'll see in other examples, is really going to make the difference. Okay, so here we have another one. What we've done is like I said, we've tapped back into this order block that we had gotten a trade at before, but we've taken the low, which for me, okay, we've taken that low, we're valid to look for another CHOCH. What we've had is we've pushed down, we then have the last sort of high consolidation. This is sort of a whole area, you could mark the highest point on it, breaks with body break, and then we mark out our order block, and we'd be taking trades out of this targeting 3R. And I can see it from my eyes. That would be another, this is what I mean, 15 CHOCH. That would be another, I think that would be another win. We will mark them up fully, but I want to just cover 15-minute CHOCH. What we ended up having, we would have got a nice little 3R trade out of that. We then, took some lows here. However, that would have been our CHOCH level up here. We never got a body break, and we kept going down. So as we push deeper and deeper, we end up just, never get any body break CHOCHs. Okay, let's have a look. No body breaks, push down, kept pushing down, okay, until, let's have a look, we eventually got a CHOCH. So as I said, it's the last push up consolidation before pushing down, and we got a body break at the top. We would then have marked out our wick area and the last bearish candle. I'm going to teach you that we probably would have stayed in this one, because what I do is I give a 0.5 pip buffer. However, some people may have not have stayed in this. Let's have a look at what it swept by, would give us a good idea. 0.2 pip. So we would have had a 0.3 pip buffer on there. So, if you're trading with pretty decent broker, you would have been kept in that trade, and it would have been another 3R win for sure. So you can even see straight away that these is what we're looking for. I'm going to move through and give a couple more examples. So we were pushing up. This is our new point of interest that was unmitigated before, that we've now pushed into, and let's see if we created any CHOCH here at all. Got this moving down. This was our last consolidation before the push up, and just wick breaks and wick breaks. Okay, so there's no areas for trades out of here. Let's move on to what's next. Okay, we pushed into this new area. However, we never got any sort of change of character, just a sweep there. This is why I don't take wick breaks, because we've got a sweep here, not a close with body, and it's just kept pushing up. No reaction at all until we finally tap into here, this area. We had our break of structure with a body here, and then we had our CHOCH. This is fully valid CHOCH. We tapped into 4-hour point of interest. We pushed down, we've closed with the body break. Okay, some people would be like, oh, but we've pushed all the way back up, so it's sort of like a tweezer. They call it tweezer finish, but sometimes this happens and it still holds. We just have to work out with the probabilities. In this case, we would have taken a loss because we would have had our 15-minute CHOCH. We would have marked out our order block, and we would have taken a loss here. But no strategy is 100%. Okay, so what we're going to do Then we go to the next one. We've tapped in higher, like I said, we've pushed higher than we have before. We actually broke with a body break. Really nice. But we're in this 4-hour area that we're looking for CHOCH out of. So what happens next? We get a body break of the last low that led to the high, which now gives us our 15-minute CHOCH. This is a really good flip zone example as well. We then have this last area of interest that pushed up the market before pushing us down, that we would mark out, set our limit to 3R, and for sure we would have hit the target. You know, there was also the possibility of this being extreme, that maybe would have come in later. But as I said, for these extra rules, this happened on Tuesday. This wouldn't have come into our point of interest till Wednesday, so our limits would have been removed. Okay, so I hope that makes you understand, helps you understand CHOCH. And now I'm going to show you the technique that I've come up with of how to enter out of 15-minute order blocks and where to set your limit order. What I do is something I've created myself that's dynamic with the dynamics of the market and the size of the order blocks, and so it sort of shifts depending on that, and I'll explain to you right now and show you a couple examples. You don't have to use these rules, but to get the results I got, 200% across 2 pairs in the last 8 months, you might want to use them to get these results. Pretty good. So I'm going to explain that to you now. It's quite simple. Okay, so my 15-minute OB technique. It determines on the size of the 15-minute. I'll explain it to you, and then I'll go in and show you an example on one of these 15-minute CHOCH. Okay, it depends on the size of the OB on the 15-minute. Well, if the size of the order block is 0 to 5 pips, this is just with these 2 bears. Obviously, it's going to be kind of different if you're trading indices or gold or anything like that. You will have to come up with your own technique and backtest that yourselves. I'm mainly a Forex trader. However, I imagine this would work on many, many types of markets. Okay, so here we have the size of the 15-minute order block. If it's at 0 to 5 pips, we'll enter on the edge of the order block. If it's 5 to 8 pips, we'll then enter on the 0.25 line, which I draw with a modified Gann chart. I'll show you that as well. If it is 8 or more pips, we enter on the 0.45 line of the Gann chart of that 15-minute order block. If you're confused, I'll show you in a minute. What I have as well for spreads, I buffer at 0.5 pips at the edge of the order block, and I include that in the size. Okay, so what I'll go do, I'm going to use, we can run a bit of and bring it all together. What I'm going to do is, let's have a look. We'll go Monday, we'll hindsight 2 weeks, and then we'll do 1 week at the end where we do bar by bar replay. We'll leave everything up marked out, 4 hours and everything like that. I can delete the ones up here and when we're doing the forward testing and everything. But let's assume on this area on the 15. Okay, we had the CHOCH, and we talked about that this would be our flip zone order block. So we mark it out, then we get our modified Gann chart. I'll show you, yep, this is the one. I'll show you the settings that I use. So pretty much I just edit it. I've got 0, 0.25, 0.45, 0.5, 0.75. I only really use 0.25, 0.55. I'm sort of gathering data on higher areas. But at this point, these are the ones that have done quite well for me and given me the best results. So let me show you. Then we would mark out our long. Okay, we would then mark from the top and the bottom 3.9 pips, as you can see. Hold on, it shows you this number here. So 3.9, that's what we're looking at. And so then what I would add is my 0.5 buffer. Okay, so that would be around 4.4, yep. And so it's under 5, so we would just be entering on the edge here. Okay, and then we would have our take profit at 3R. Okay, and that's it. You know, obviously with some idea of market structure and everything like that, you know, there's potential to target these highs and get into these really nice trades here for like 10R. This is designed for super simple basics, so you can just follow straight from the word go and be profitable from, you know, straight from the start by just understanding a few basic concepts and not trying to predict the market so far, because you can even be wrong in market direction here, as you'll see right here, and still be right, you know, with this technique. We then came in, this is our one we showed before, we pushed in, we got our CHOCH, we marked out our area. What I would get is a straight away, put my Gann chart on, we get our long, and then that's the same thing we did before. At the top and the bottom, let me have a look. Yep, top of the bottom, 8.1. We would add our 0.5, so it'd be 8.6. So it's over 8. Like we said before, that would move us to the 0.45 line. See, this is how it works sort of with the dynamics of the market. obviously there's some entries that we miss. However, you know, if we would enter on the edge, just like with the same, then we probably wouldn't have got this trade out. However, it's pretty amazing. Entry, and you know, within 2 candles we have our 3R, and the market then reverses on us. You know, if you would now thinking, oh, I'm gonna trade this all the way up here, and then you end up back out break even or loss, you know. So this is where it comes in. You don't have to know which way the market's moving. You're just looking for these reactions, these signs of strength to capitalize on the market for such as, you know, 3R. You know, 3% on this is 30 minutes, you know. On a $100,000 account, you just made 3 grand in 30 minutes. So what we have here, this will be the interesting one to see. It depends on your broker. You may have taken a loss here. However, you may have also taken an absolute beautiful win. So we cover these wicks. We've now got our 15-minute CHOCH, our extreme area here. You know, some would say there's, I don't want to confuse you. Once you get more idea of markets, you could say, okay, we had like another really sign of strength and there's potential to take entries out of here. But that's going one step further, and I think I will develop that into another video, because I just want this to be simple, okay? It's the same thing over and over again. We're on the edge of it, 3.6, so we go out to 4.1, okay? Potentially, really depend on your broker if you stayed there or not. I think potentially would be fine, and you've hit your take profit almost instantaneously. Probably, what would that be, like 10 minutes or something like that? You know, 3,000 on your account. Obviously, these entries are potential to go for way more. Look at this, 14R before the end of the day. So that's when a bit of a knowledge comes in of market structure. You can get these like super epic entries with this entry technique, and then, you know, develop it yourself to see if you want to target higher or not. But I'm giving you the results for just targeting 3R. Go and put your stop loss as soon as you hit 2R, stop loss to break even where your entry is, and then you play it out and you'll get, and that's the results that I get. So this is a good one to show us, you know, it is a losing trade. We followed the everything here. We would have, you know, before we knew we were going to lose, we'd mark out our area, you know, with the Gann chart, and we would set up our trade just like normal, and you know, it's just the probabilities playing out. But you know, the probabilities of this is pretty good, to be honest with you. Way better than I thought it was going to be. You know, if this had played, pretty quick 3R, quite nice entry. However, we got another chance. It swept the high and we got another CHOCH. So that's why we're ready for it, you know. We keep that alerts on. You know, these are areas of interest that we expect these reactions from. And with this data, we know we're expecting reactions from. Same thing we do here, okay. 5.7, so then we add to be 6.2, I think. And yeah, easily the 3R. However, quickly turned away on us, you know. Okay, we could have probably pushed out, what was the max, about 5R. When you just had to understand these simple rules of 4-hour points of interest and 15-minute CHOCH and the flip zones extremes, and target 3R with a stop loss to break even at 2R. Okay, so this was, we eventually broke that. We're in higher over this high, so we're tagging further into this order block. We've then got our last low. We've then got our 15-minute CHOCH with body break. Okay, it doesn't look all that glamorous, but it's still valid. And after that CHOCH, where would we? Our extreme. Last push up. There's no flip zone. There's just the extreme. It's all the same here. Mark out our Gann chart. 3.0, so we go 3.5. Almost tagged in instantly. Well, that goes to 5.6. However, easily hits our 3. Let's go somewhere around here. I've tagged in 3 15-minute candles, 45 minutes, less than an hour. You've made your 3R without having much knowledge of, you know, obviously the market's bullish, but you've just taken your 3,000 out of the market, or your 3R, your 3% out of the market, you know, and you've been completely wrong on market direction. So it's just the power of the strategy, okay? While you're figuring that stuff out, this can get you profitable from the word go. Hey guys, yeah, so I want to end this video with a bit of backtesting. So what we did, we're tapped in here. We started the new week. Let's have a look on the 15. Okay, it looks like we would have had a CHOCH pretty much there. Oh no, didn't close. There. I'll show you why. Had quite tight movements in the end there. Pushed down, this push up, so we're looking for this to break with a body. We just had wicks. We finally had a close here, so I'll confirm there. You know, I will do it like that, but whatever, just so you know. So then the last push up before the break, what do we have here? Pull it across, 15-minute POI, and let's have a look. Okay, 10.7 we want to go to. So that's going to bring us to the 45 line, and then we would be targeting the 3 hour. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, it looks like it tagged in, and yep. Okay, so it looks like we've missed this one. So with these trades, if it gets a tag or like touches your order block and misses your order and then gets that reaction, then you just remove the order, okay? Because the reaction has already happened. So it coming back in isn't gonna, you know, that's the reaction here. That tap and then push down, that's the reaction we're looking for. You know, potentially it could come in and get a reaction, but we're looking for that initial touch and go. And because we've already pushed so far down, even more than our target, then, you know, we would remove this order and consider it as a miss and then move on to the next one, okay? And anyway, as we came back in, we're going into the close of our session, so, you know, we wouldn't be taking it anyway. But it's a good point in terms of looking at, you know, the reaction that's come out of this order block. Okay, we went too deep, but, you know, it is what it is. It's how it goes. You don't get tagged into them all. Okay, it's moving up. Okay, perfect. So what we have now here, we're still inside this area. We've got this CHOCH. We've got this set up. Just this, quite simple. We're in the 4 hour, we're just waiting for CHOCH, waiting for the last lows that put in highs to get broken to show weakness, and we're just looking for reactions, okay? Okay, 6.6, so it goes 7.1. 7.1 would be the 25, and as we say, we target our 3 hour. Okay, and so that would be a loss. We'd have one miss, one loss. Alright, let's keep moving on. Okay, no break of structure yet. Okay, stop there. We now had a push up. Let me just bring it up. There we got a nice new CHOCH here. Let me just move over this. Like I said, it's not 100% win rate. You will take losses, but you just trade it and the probabilities will play out. Okay, so now we've got the extreme. We've got two areas of interest for us now, and our flip zone. Now this is pure basic rules trading. There's obviously like a couple rules we could incorporate, especially if you look at my video, that may get you higher win rate. But I wanted to just make this basic, you know, that you can become profitable almost from the word go without, you know, even taking into consideration all these other rules. So we've got these two areas here. We'll set them up. Quite big areas, so be nice to get the RR. What do we got here? So 10.8. So yeah, 11.3. So we would be entering off the 45 according to the rules. Okay, I know, you know, this is a huge one, so it's going to be on the 45. 3R. So let's have a look. Okay, we got tagged into that one. Okay, we've lost the flip zone one. Okay, and yeah, sort of instantaneously got this one. Big wick up and then big wick down, and so we've got 3R. So let's mark these out as we go, just so it's clear. So we're still +1 up, and then we keep moving up. What we'd need to do is we'd play it out a little bit more. We'd have to keep an eye. We'll go back to the 4 hours because then we can see where our new 4 hour order blocks are. But I know this is a 4 hour low down here, so we're pretty much waiting for that to break. Let me just jump on the 4 hour. Okay, let's see here. Mark out our low, and we want to wait for a, okay, there we go. So we had the wick break, but then we eventually got the body break. So we mark out our new 4 hour, however you want to mark it out. You know, sometimes, you know, I cover like the last candle as well, but you know, you're just looking at the area. So one candle, cover that, and then we go to the 15 minute. Simple as that. Once you master this and knowledge of trend direction and all that sort of stuff, you sold pretty much the top of the market right now, you know. So there's big opportunities for growth from this, but for like simple basics of becoming profitable in Forex straight away, this is huge. This is really cool data that I found. So I'm gonna keep moving through this. Okay, we're tagged into that 4. Pretty much what we're looking for at this point. This is our CHOCH level. We're on a break below that. Okay, pause that for a second. Let's have a look what we have here. Okay, so it's not as clear. We got some wick ups on the 15. We got like a little sweep there. But for me, all this rest is like it's mitigating itself. So I would class this as like a flip zone area because that's the last sort of consolidation. We got pushed up wicks and everything like that before the break of structure. With the extreme, it's not really much on offer. Everything looks quite mitigated on the extreme. 3, 4.8 we want to go to. And let's see, something plays. Okay, there we go. It's just like that. We've been tagged in and hit up take profit. Let's move. Yeah, okay, that was to 3.5. That's another one off the flip zone. 3R. There we go. So now we're +4 for the week. It's not bad, you know. Happy days, 4%. It's a huge week. Okay, now we're waiting just for another, either a take of these highs or a break of this low to create a new 4-hour point of interest. We can set alerts. Obviously, I'm playing a bar by bar just for your guys' entertainment. But we can set alerts at the lows, set alerts at the highs, and okay, and let me pause because we might have a new 4-hour. Well, okay. So we've got a new 4-hour break of structure. Let me bring this in. Okay, let's jump on the 15 again. Okay, let's see if there's any, we've got this old area of consolidation. Let's see if there's any possibilities for a trade out of that. No, looks like it's just going to keep pushing down. Like, you look at this again. Look at that entry. That's just till the end of the day. 20R. So there's potential once you really refine this strategy to get some really huge trades. This is getting really awesome entries just looking out for these chocks out of these 4-hour POIs. I just target 3R because it gave me really good results, and I think it's, you know, obviously you can refine it from there in terms of pro trend, counter trend, and everything like that. You know, with the results that we get just from 3R, pretty awesome to just be in and out and have that clarity of mind and locked in, so you're not holding trades all day depending on your psychology or level of trading at that point as well. Let's see, we're on Friday now. Technically we did break through this, but we're still messing around. So if we had like a chock above, if we had a chock above this level, then, you know, potentially I would have looked for longs. Let's have a look at the 4-hour, see if there's anything interesting for us. So that's on Monday. Okay, no worries. So I think that was quite a successful backtesting anyway. We had 1 miss, we had 2 losses and 2 wins. Just targeting 3R. You know, there was obviously potential for much more there, but just with these conservative entries and exits, let's have a look how long you would have been in the market. In this case, we got tagged in, and on the second 15, so we were in the market for 30 minutes. Less maybe, and we were in the market for less than 15 minutes, so a total of 45 minutes of trading for those wins. I think that's pretty good results. I hope this helps a lot of beginners just simplify the market back again. I backtested this on Euro USD and AUD US. I really recommend studying this video and asking any questions in the comment below if there's anything you need clarification on. Join my free Telegram channel. If you'd like, join the Discord through my affiliate link. If you want more information about the Discord as well, let me know. I can post my link to my Discord as well, so you can ask me any questions or ask me questions in the Telegram group. Just 1 week for you guys, 4%, pretty good. Basic strategy, less than an hour in the markets. Obviously more R&R there if you had more knowledge of the markets and, you know, could take it down, but it's not necessary for the strategy. Just simply marking out these areas of interest and waiting for 15-minute chock and capitalizing on those for just a small reaction out of that. So okay, if you like this video, guys, please like, subscribe, comment below what you want to see me do next. If this really helped you become profitable, let me know. If you need any clarifications on anything, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys all for watching.